First, Joey, thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
It's about getting the word out about what are Goldbacks, what do they do, how are they used, what do they mean to people, and where they are. I got involved with Goldbacks in late 2021, early 2022. It was introduced to me by a friend named Brian Daly. And quite frankly, the reason he did that, introduced him to me because back in the day, even till today, I go to different stores and different services and use silver coin as a way to source money, as a source of money to pay for products and services. If you go back to the U.S. Constitution, our real founding financial money is gold and silver.
Right.
And the Goldbacks segue perfectly into that platform of going back to our U.S. constitutional money, which if in 1971-ish, Nixon took us off the gold standard. Back in 1913, they asked for citizens to turn their gold in for U.S. federal dollars. And I want to go back to practicing the way it used to be done before all of that. And abide by our U.S. Constitution, which I find to be very important for me, mostly. But Goldbacks is a company out of Utah who developed this product in early to late 2018. The owner, Jeremy, decided to come out with this platform of product for Utah. They started in Utah back in 2018. He started going to flea markets and seeing if business would be interested in going back to a different form of financial instrument. And he came up with Goldbacks. It took off. And as we speak today, Goldbacks are now being used through 9-10 different states. So the last one that just went recently was the state of Idaho. The Attorney General himself, my understanding, did the legislation, put it through the state Senate, and they passed the law to accept Goldbacks as a form of payment within their state. So you have right now, I have some states here in front of you, Dallas, Texas, you have Idaho, you have Arizona, you have Florida, you have South Dakota, Utah, Wyoming, Nevada, New Hampshire. So you have all these states that are moving in this direction, and the state that's coming up pretty soon in the month of August, they're going to be kicking it off, is the California Goldbacks.
Nice.
Which is absolutely astonishing that they're moving in that direction. I would have never thought in a billion years that California would go in that way, and there's a reason for that.
There is. So what I was going to say was before we came on the air tonight, Dr. Dan was on the radio, and he came out and he said, wow, what do we have here? It looks like collectibles. Our audience doesn't realize that these are really nice looking Goldbacks, are really nice looking collectibles.
Yes. So you'll find in this journey that I've been on through Johnny Gold, the business that I'm with. So Goldbacks is its own company. Johnny Gold is its own separate company. So Goldbacks artistically has taken the product. Absolutely amazing artwork.
Yeah.
People collect them. I was with a business today, and the owner's ready to sign up to accept these as a form of payment. And the son, who's a part owner, he goes, I just want to have these because they're beautiful and I collect things. So they are awesome from a collectability standpoint. You will get people who, as you mentioned, they're 24 karat gold. There are people who want to collect them for wealth. I met a 25-year-old man on Saturday that came in and bought these. And my question was, why are you buying them? He goes, to store a value of wealth, because over quantity, you will get a quantity of 24 karat gold in your hand. And then there are people like myself who want to go and use it as a form of payment to pay for product and services. So if I want to go to a pizzeria or a bagel shop that accept the Goldbacks as a form of payment, I can go and buy that pizza. I could go buy that bagel. I've used them for lawn services. It's agnostic in the sense that you could use it as a form of payment. And I'm finding a lot of good reception around it here in New York. Even though we don't have one for New York yet, that doesn't stop us from using the product or as a form of financial payment. I go around and set up all the businesses. We've actually talked about that today,
Right.
with yourself as a show, as a businessman, that you could accept that as a form of payment.
So it's up to each individual business owner whether or not they want to accept it.
That's correct. Each business owner, and it's crazy. I find out there are partners in these businesses. So the primary owner or the majority owner has to accept that with all the other partners. I can't do it just one individual of the partnership. They all have to accept it because they're taking in a form of payment, and they got to be able to divide the financial instrument amongst themselves. That's the piece I step back and said, you guys all have to decide what you want to do with the product. The great thing is we do have a system set up where you could take the Goldbacks and trade them in for back for cash.
Right.
We have a store in Franklin Square, Robert Damien Jewelers, who I partnership with. He's a distributor. So he will accept these back and pay them out in cash. Now you got to understand, in the gold industry, there's a thing called spot pricing, and the prices change on a daily basis. They fluctuate, so the value of Goldbacks fluctuate with that.
It could be a good investment if you hang on to them for a while, right?
So yeah, when I first started, when I got that first instrument that day, when Brian had handed me one, I went to go look up the value, and they were $1.99 in value at the time relative to the price of gold. Today, the average price is $8. I've seen them go as high as $11,
Nice.
depending on the market with gold. And let's be honest, gold has been around for over 5,000 years as a form of payment, financial payment. If you know about what's going on in the global economy, the BRICS, the Russians, the Indians, all these companies, all these states are moving in the direction of acquiring gold and silver as supporting their economy. It would be great if America would go back to that kind of financial responsibility. I know we do everything by the petrodollar. I'm hoping our administration decides to go back in this direction. There's a lot of discussions and talk about that at the federal level, but I can tell you at the state level, for all these states I mentioned, they've decided to go in this direction for one reason or other. They're not seeing the value of the U.S. dollar anymore in holding the value that it once held. I'm not saying get rid of your dollars. You still need to work in that part of the economy, but there are people looking to move away. So you're getting your collector, you're getting your wealth preserver, and then you're getting the ones who want to have an alternative to what you see out there. So you have crypto.
Right.
I have not met one person, and I've known about crypto since pretty much its inception. I've yet to meet any individual who has taken crypto and gone on a bagel shop and get a bagel with crypto. But you can with Goldbacks for those businesses that are accepting them. We have about 24 businesses on Long Island that now accept them as a form of payment. One of my jobs is going out there signing up those businesses. We just signed up one tonight here in the studio. Someone who's here, and that's my job. That's what I'm doing. I'm considered the Goldback Northeast Ambassador, so I oversee the whole Northeast of the United States. But Johnny Gold, I work underneath that business to go out and sell either the product and or sign the businesses up to accept them as a form of payment. So yeah.
So on the Goldbacks, is there a different? How much gold is actually in each one of it? Is it all the same, or is each one of these is different in this case right here, right?
Yes, each one is. Well, some of them are the same as far as the amount of gold. If you see, they make them what's called quarterbacks. If you had 4 quarterbacks, that would equal 1. They have halfbacks, which equals 2 equals 1. They have ones, and they have 2s of 1s, and so on and so on. They go up in denomination. So yes, to your question, there's less gold in the smaller version and more gold in the larger version. So that adds the value.
Is the paper size bigger on the smaller versions, obviously, and then as the paper gets bigger
there's more gold.
Right. So it's actually the size of the paper then. Right?
Yeah, what dictates the amount of gold that's in each one. So
pretty cool.
The 1 GB, as we call them, there's one 1/1000th of an ounce of gold in there.
Wow.
Now, as you can imagine, there's a way. There has to be a way to hold the form of gold, and there's a polymer, a special manufacturing process that Goldback has worked with the producer of this product to keep the gold intact So it's not liquid form. It's there's weight in there. So if you were to melt these down, you would actually get 1/1000th of an ounce of gold out of it. Actually, there's been studies done on these that you get a little bit more than that. The Goldback team has they put a little extra in there to ensure that you are actually getting the value of the gold, so you're not feeling like, oh, I got cheated. They're very conscious of that, so they go the extra step. The other beautiful thing about there with all this artwork, what they have done in this artwork, and I showed you just before we came on the radio. There's a watermark inside of all of these to make sure there's no fraud.
Authentic.
Yeah, authentic. Make sure they're authentic. Make sure no one is doing anything illicit.
Right.
Just like you do with your dollars. If you have a blue light, you can go see the UV lighting inside some of the new American dollars that they produce. The Goldback folks have decided to do that, and they've done some crazy artwork inside the artwork.
And you only can see it. You can only see it with the light, right?
You can see it with the light, and if you shine over it, not the older ones, on the newer ones, and you can see.
Yep.
This is a DC one, the 250th anniversary. There's only 250,000 of these produced, so you're looking at something that's somewhat of a collectible.
A collectible down the road.
Yeah. So people they're worth more money because of the numerical value of it. I'm not a huge fan of that, but you know what? If it excites certain people, it gets them interested in the product, more power to them. We'll sell those to the to the masses if they want them. I'm very interested in seeing individuals use them as a storing of wealth, and then using them as a way to consciously think how they're going to spend their money.
Right.
Because today people just spend money like crazy without thinking about the consequences behind that. You're going to consciously think how you're going to spend your gold, because it's real value. It's real commodity that's in your hand. And industrial wise, gold and silver are used to do all our back end infrastructures. It's used for many different reasons, but now using it as an instrument as payment, going back to the old ways. If you were to get a silver coin or a gold coin, a silver coin today, I think ended somewhere around $72, $73. A 1 ounce gold coin is approximately $4,300, $4,400. And when I started out, my first store was a bagel shop. Randy was the owner, and he's like, well, why wouldn't you give me a gold coin? And at the time, a gold coin was worth approximately $5,000. And I said to Randy, I'm like, yeah, why would I give you for a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich for $10 a $5,000 coin? You got $4,990 for me. And he started laughing.
Right.
And he's like, I might have that to pay you for today. I said, well, what if Joey came in next? You have the next guy to pay.
You're going to run out of money.
It would be a lot of money to have on hand, right? So economically, it doesn't make sense for a business to get a gold coin.
Right.
The silver coins, which I had started to do with many businesses, how I started, in this process, and then evolved to the Goldbacks. They were valued around $30 at the time. Now a silver coin is worth about $69 to $72. Still tradable, still divisible for a product, for service. But again, if I was going to walk in and buy a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich for $10, they got to give me approximately $60 and change, right? Which is still somewhat workable. But when you get down to these Goldbacks, the lower form one is around 2 and change today. The halfbacks are about 4 and change. The full GB, as we call them, they're about $8, and so on as you double the sizing of them.
So for a listener out there who wants to check out Goldbacks, right? Goldbacks, can they start off at any amount they want?
Yes.
So
they
can
start off as low as $2 all the way up to the tens of thousands. Actually, Goldback makes uniquely makes a suitcase of approximately about $40,000 worth of gold in them, which is kind of crazy. And there are people who buy them. They have the financial wherewithal to do that. That's great. But for the average person, they don't. And this gives them a way to step into the world of gold at a reasonable financial way.